Good morning, YouTube. Muchismo Eugene, another video from Exit Strategy. Probably can hear my voice in the background and you can hear me on camera. I'm just viewing one of my videos that I had done back a year ago, and the title of it is 3 Basic Things to Do Once You're Awakened. And if you guys are interested in going and check that video out, I'd appreciate it. I don't often look at my videos here or there because I just make them. I don't really edit them or anything. I just, I speak. There have been a couple I've started over a few seconds in because I didn't like the intro, stumbling over my words, and just the little things that you don't want to distract from the message. So anyway, I want to thank my subscribers. I'm humbled by the fact that there are a couple hundred people that are interested, and not just interested in what I have to say. They have signed on to commit to just following me in this journey, because I'm gonna continue to cheerlead for you guys as you cheerlead for me. We're in this together, and that's not just cliche here with us. We know that. So continue to like, subscribe, and share the videos. I'd appreciate that as well. I don't often say that, but thank you and bless. So I had a subject I was going to talk about, which was essence. And I'll put that on the back burner because, as my boy says, I got a download after watching my video here. And this video is only 22 minutes. Actually, it's 22 minutes, 18 seconds. And it's 3 basic things to do once you're awakened. And in that video, I'm listening to myself as I talk about how quick the narcissist came and went in my life. 10 months flat. Actually, 10 months after marriage. I was involved with her probably about 2 years. She lived independently in her house, or her mom's house. She rented upstairs, and I've lived here where I live for upwards of 14 years. So I brought her to my house, artistic son, along with her. You get the story. So anyway, I got to listening to this video, whereas I said to myself, wow, how I got this knowledge and how I became attuned to what was being said to me. And, I was right on it, and I just was blessed enough to get out of it, and consequently ran into quite a few other ones since she's been gone, in relationships or attempted relationships. And you guys know how that goes. We get out of them quicker than not, because the more we're educated and the more attuned and the more awakened we become, the less time we give to these people. So I wanted to springboard off of that video, and I wanted to talk about this as a subject. And I think we'll title this subject, "The Narcissist Picked the Wrong Empath." When the narcissist picks the wrong empath. And I believe that you are that one that they picked. And they didn't have any idea that that would be the most dire mistake, the most inflicting mistake they've ever made in their life. The biggest mistake they ever made in their life, other than choosing to desert their true self. Because as my boy said in a video, and this is, it's ironic, we empaths here, chosen ones, when we do videos, there is no clout chasing, there is no capping. And if we do cap off of somebody else, it's not offensive, it's not invasive, it is not disrespectful. We take from one another ideas in order to express what we too have experienced. It's synonymous here. So I wanted to express that. Don't ever feel put off that you are copying what another content creator is speaking about, because in listening to other content creators, it inspires and it spurs something that you in fact have either witnessed or experienced. So back to what I'm trying to say. When they picked you, they definitely screwed up. And reason why I said that, this girl when I met her in 2017, maybe end of 2017, during the fall, winter, I don't know for sure. But anyway, she handed me a tract from the church I had visited with my kids. That wasn't her church, as I said before in videos. She was visiting as well. And narcissists frequent different churches. They church hop. Not like the empath who was in search of a church home. They are in search of energy and fuel supply. Period. That's it. So she didn't know that that day was the day of reckoning. She handed me that tract from her church, not knowing she had handed the right piece of paper to the wrong person. I'll just say it like this, man. Like my boy said in his video, they will forever be injured by us. That's a heartwarming thing to know. Because it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You brought the smoke and you got it. You came barking up the wrong tree, messing with someone that had no evil intent. They wished you well. They didn't have you on their mind. You crossed their paths for all the wrong reasons. You were trying to intercept their purpose. You were trying to block their purpose and their progress. You tried to snatch their essence. Just bear with me, guys. I'm going to be all over the place, but I'm going to tell you something. You know, I don't watch regular TV, but I've watched in times past the First 48, all these these shows where it talks about these criminal minds and different things. And I forget the name of this show, but in essence, what had happened, this girl had befriended a pregnant neighbor. She went on to groom this neighbor, telling her, you know, when the baby's born, I'll take care of it. I'll care for it. You don't have to get a babysitter, blah, 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 blah. I'm paraphrasing this, but this is the gist of the story. When the lady was coming close to giving birth to the baby, around 7, 8 months, this psychotic narcissist went to this woman's house. Either she did it at the woman's house or the woman was over her house. She got the ups on this woman, incapacitated her in some kind of way. I think she stabbed her or something, shot her, and proceeded to extract this woman's baby from her stomach. And she was successful. She hid the woman under her porch. And I'm sorry if this triggers you, but I just need to convey this story to let you know where my point is going. She extracted this woman's child, continued to care for this child, and police got a call that this woman was missing and they hadn't heard from her. She hadn't went to work or something like that. A friend called and reached out to the police. On and on and on. They go to the property. They ask this particular lady, the psychotic narcissist, have you seen so-and-so and so-and-so? She's like, no, I think she probably moved. Nothing the woman said made sense, but they couldn't do anything about it. They had to take this woman's word. So they went and knocked on the woman's door. They didn't see no trace of the woman. Things just looked like they wasn't in disarray. The woman just seemed like she just up and left. There were intricate things that led them to believe that the woman didn't leave on her own fruition. So they brought dogs and whatnot. They did a search, and I think a few months went by, and they came back, and the cadaver dogs, they hit on the porch area of this woman's house. Long story short, they went on and they extracted the body, where this woman had put this woman in a shallow grave up under her porch, and she had begun to continue living life with this woman's child. Now, I used that example because I'm going to show you it doesn't get any darker than that. But when they meet you, the narcissist, that is essentially what they go on to do. That's what their sole purpose is, to extract everything within you that's living, breathing, your essence. And they want to snatch it, and they want to obtain it and possess it. But the knuckleheads don't realize you can't take someone's essence. That's like you taking my heart. And I know heart transplants are a thing, and it's a reality now. And I could give opinions about that. But your heart is your heart. It's not meant for someone else while you're yet living, if that be the case where there's a transplant to be performed. You don't have a clue, narcissist. You cannot take something that doesn't belong to you and expect to possess it in a harmonious way. It's like a loaded gun that you don't know how to use. You're going to end up shooting your own foot off. And that's essentially what they did when they met you. These are just things, as empaths and chosen ones, that you ought to be inspired by, that not only did meeting the narcissist awaken you to the fact that you were living in a matrix, you were living very far away from your true self. You were pretty much genuine and authentic to you as it pertains to your personality as you knew it. But you were going through the motions of life, believing the good in most people and not thinking that they had deceitful intentions. So now you're a new version of you. You are the best version of you. And you're continuing to progressively become the best version of yourself as God sees fit. And He has you on a navigational journey of His choosing. And you have to just abide by His guidance. He didn't save you from the narcissist for yourself. He saved you from the narcissist so you can go on and accomplish His will. They picked the wrong person. They had the right plan, wrong man. Or one man. And narcissists watching. I feel bad that you don't feel bad. Right now, a narcissist listening to either my video or some videos of similar content, they're listening and they're looking into the camera and probably talking to themselves or talking to you and saying, ha ha ha. They don't have remorse. Therefore, there is no repentance. Thank God you can repent. That means you can turn from this way and choose another way. They can't. They don't have an alternative direction to go. Because guess what? The alternative direction would be embracing ideas and suggestions from other people who are healthy. And if they did that, their ego will be crushed, which is essential to growth as a human being. You have to kill the ego. A lot of people think because we're passionate about what we believe in as chosen ones, that we have ego. Arrogance, I meant to say, which is a part of an ego. Passion and ego don't go together. Passion trumps ego. Passion is propelled by something deep within you, a desire for good rather than evil. You can be passionate about the wrong things as well, though. Do you know it takes passion in order to birth a child? I don't care if you just hit it and quit it. There has to be passion between the man and the woman in order for him to both be aroused and to orgasm. And I'm talking metaphor as far as giving you an analogy, man. I mean, don't get sexual about it, but that is essential. Christ had a passion for His people. So much so that He went to the cross for that. So the story goes. I believe the story. Why shouldn't I? Yeah, I grew up in a hypocritical church. I'm thankful that I did. I saw both. I saw preachers that preached, and as soon as they got out of church, they went to the bootlegger and drank and got a couple shots of moonshine. Some of them got drunk, some of them went home. I was always around raw, real authenticity and real, raw, fake, phony illusionists. Best of both worlds, man. I didn't live on a rock. I wasn't sheltered. God bless the empath and the chosen ones who've had the best of both worlds. Because there's nothing new that you can throw at us that we can't knock out of the park. We'll see it and say, man, I've seen this movie before. We're just becoming more attuned to the fact that, hey, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore. It's a beautiful thing, though. We have a life living in an awakened state that is a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life. It's a life, if it's anything like mine, you welcome every new day. Whether it's raining, sunshine, cloudy, cold, warm, you don't really measure life by the weather conditions outside. Your life is measured by the steps you take one after the other one in this newfound truth. So the narcissist has met more than their match. They really messed up when they met you. And now you have them on a whirlwind course of they're trying to figure it out. And the time they're spending trying to figure out, man, what did I do wrong? I did everything that I was supposed to do when I destroyed all these other people. What part did I miss? What step did I leave out? The step you left out, you wasn't paying attention that this empath and this chosen one specifically was paying attention. We went along, got along to get along, but we paid attention. We had total recall. That means you wasn't able to do and bamboozle the chosen one of present and most recent as you did the ones in the past. Because we were woke to a strong degree when you met us. We wasn't aware that you was as evil as you ended up exposing yourself to be. But we were aware of what we were awoke to the fact that something didn't fit. And we sat and we had that moment of reflection. And we did the math and we quickly found out that something wasn't adding up. God was working in the midst of that thing, man. How do you think David was able to escape the arrows that Saul, stomach growling, sorry, I've been eating breakfast. How do you think David avoided all the fiery darts, the arrows that Saul was shooting at him? You call this man in there to play the harp, to soothe you in your vexed spirit, all in an attempt to assassinate him. And that's exactly what the narcissist does. They call you in, set the table for you to feast on while they poison you. It's all a setup. There's many things David got shown by God. But I love that story. Out of all the stories in the Bible, Jonathan and David. Jonathan was more of a brother to David than his biological brothers were. Read that story in the Bible. How David came up. Little puny, the smallest of them all, but had the biggest heart of them all in his family structure unit. Jonathan, obedient son to his father, King Saul, but nonetheless, he didn't mix words. He didn't play favorites. When King David told Jonathan that his dad was out to get him, He didn't believe it at first, but he didn't ostracize David because of it. He entertained the thought. He said, okay. He said, we'll do a taste test here. I'll go back and tell my dad. And Dave told him, hey, tell him I ain't going to be able to make it. I got to go on a trip. I got to go back and see my peeps. And if he okay with that and he said, okay, wish me well, then you know he's not out to get me. If he tells you, if he gets all flustered, you know that he's out to get me. And obviously Jonathan went back and did what his brother, his blood brother in Christ told him to do. And lo and behold, Jonathan reported back and says, it is as you said, David. I can hardly believe my dad did this and want to take your life. And he gave him his blessing. And he said, take off. He said, I'll forever love you, man. And that's what we as empaths do here, as chosen ones and all. We are covering one another. We are shepherding one another. We are cheerleading for one another. We're doing all the things that are inspiring one another to continue to be the best version of ourselves. Don't lose hope, man. Don't lose hope. Seek the faith in God. And just keep your eyes open and work on you. And remember, this is not something to be played with. This is the devil itself. You see a person on the other side of this demonic behavior, but it's just an illusion. Behind that flesh is a demon. It is the saddest thing that I would that I want to say, but it's the truest thing that I can tell you. So knowing what you know now and continuing to educate yourself on this, don't continue to stay in these relationships. That being said, bless.